Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Story House Books. It's Tiana, as usual. So, where are we? Can you believe it? This is episode 11 in the Create a Lapbook with Me series 2.0. So, what are we working on today? Well, a lot, actually. What's that? I'm trying to keep this thing as clean as possible. So, we're going to work on this panel. Let's see, probably... I'm thinking these panels over here today. Because I've already got some ideas to finish this one out. To work on this page, or this panel here, and inside here as well. So, let's start with we're going to go inside out, just because I want to make sure we've got the bulk under control. And I'm going to show you how to make all the pieces that I've got stowed away for here. So, for this particular part here, we are going to... Let me find the back page I'm going to use. Where did it go? I've got so much stuff over here, y'all. Y'all have no idea. It is like craziness right now. And I can't find the back page. I'll be right. Well, where did it go? I thought it was in my little stack over here, and it has up and walked away. That's not good. Well, Fuji's. Give me 1 second, you guys. Oh, wait. Found it. Ah, there it is. Anyway, this is going to be the back page for this panel here. And, let's see, it's upside down. Go this way. Let's trim a little bit of that off. We don't need all that. In there. And what we're going to do here is, if you can recall in one of my previous episodes, I was talking about using something like this. This is one of my jumbo specimen slide pockets here as a flip, right? So, we are going to, or I want to, put a couple under this page here. So they'll be underneath here, yeah? And then it'll just, flip open there. I just gotta figure out what we're gonna put underneath that. Since this is so tall, we're gonna have to make them, new ones a little bit shorter, which I did test out today just to see what they would look like or what style I would use. So, I got a couple of options here. So this is one that I did at Tim Holtz backdrops here, right? Made it a little bit shorter, not as tall as the previous one you just saw. And when I cut out the window, I went ahead and used it in the back here. Kind of gives it a little bit of a dimension. And it looks nice. And for this one, I used grommets instead of, or eyelets instead of brads. And I did put gussets in here, so that plenty of room to put stuff into. And again, just a small flap here will open it up, right? And here's another one that I did. This one I did with Tim Holtz craft paper, and I distressed it by sanding it. And this time I used brads. I used some printed acetate here. This is from the Entomology collection. I believe it's Love Junk Journals. I'll have to look it up. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then, of course, another flap here. And I made this the same size as the mushroom one, right? So what we're going to be looking at is something like this. If I can get this to sit straight. Like that, right? Is the idea. My only concern is if the flip over here is going to get in the way of the folding, or the spine over here, right? So let me see. We should be okay, I think. I don't think it's going to impede on that if we just, put it down in the right spot, right? So that's the idea. So what I'm going to show you first, obviously, is how to make these, yeah? And decide whether or not we're going to use these. I may actually use this one. I kind of like this one. And it is a gardening journal, So that one looks kind of cool. We can even use this one too, if we wanted. Which, what, we might. I kind of like them both. Don't worry, I'm still going to show you how to make them, but I think I might just use these two. What do you guys think? They'll put some labels on them and whatnot, yeah? Yeah. You know what? I think so. I think we're going to use these two. I'm going to put these to the side. But let's go ahead and let me show you how to make those. Really simple. So you're going to want, just pick your paper. You can pick the Tim Holtz backdrops are easy. Let me grab one here, just any random one. Let's use this one. And let me go grab my paper trimmers on the other side. 1 second, guys. Be right there. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. I'm coming. Okie dokie. Paper trimmer. I also forgot my glue and my other pair of scissors. Okay, so you can make these any size that you want. Okay, what you need to keep in mind is, as with anything you make with a gusset, or like my envelopes that you guys are seeing, pockets, you got to take into account your gusset width, right? So my standard width of my gusset flaps is a 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch on both sides, it's easy. 1/2 inch on both sides equals 1 inch. That's why, you know, I do it that way for that reason, for one reason, to make it easy, you know, as far as math goes when I'm adding up how wide I want something. So keep that in mind. So if you want something that's 4 inches wide, you're gonna have to add, you know, actually cut something that's 5 inches wide. So you have your gussets at a 1/2 inch piece. And as far as height, again, up to you, right? Usually I make mine a little bit wider than they are tall to give that rectangular look, right? Like this, not really square, or sometimes I guess they're square, but again, completely up to you and what you like, right? So we can actually do one just using the whole piece here, right? It's going to be huge, but actually, we're going to make it a little bit shorter so we can actually use the cutoff as the flap, yeah? Let's do that. So our flap, again, since I always do 1/2 inches for the flaps, the flap itself is going to be 1 inch wide. So let's cut off 1 inch, and then we'll use the rest of it for the specimen slide, yeah? Okay, so I'm going to cut off 1 inch right off the bat. Let's put that to the side. Now that leaves us a piece that is 9 inches tall, right? 9 inches tall and 6 inches wide. So what we are going to do is, I think I want to make this square, so if it's 9, it's 4.5. That's how tall it will be once we fold it in half. So to make this 4.5 wide, it needs to be 5.5 wide cut. So we need to cut off a 1/2 inch since this is 6 inches. All right? Did you get all that? Since I want to make this one square. So I want it 4.5 tall, 4.5 wide. 4.5 tall is easy because it's 9 inches already. Cut that in half and it's 4.5 inches. To make sure it's 4.5 wide, right? We have to make sure it's at least 5.5 wide because we have the flaps to consider, right? So since this is 6 inches wide already, all we have to do is cut off a 1/2 inch to make it 5.5, right? All right, done. Okay, so this should give us a square specimen slide, yeah? I hope. Again, it sounds better in my head. All right, what I'm going to do is like I do with my envelopes, I'm going to go ahead and score the sides here at a 1/2 inch a piece. Yeah, so it's 4 clicks over. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a 1/2 inch. And then 4 clicks this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and then I'm going to score at 4.5. So we're going to fold it down the middle. Yeah? Alright, and this is most of this process is just like when we make our envelopes. Just go ahead and fold the sides there. And give it a nice smush. Again. And then we're going to just fold it up. Alright? If you have directional paper, make sure you got the right side folded up. Okay? And as you can see, we have a square slide. Yeah? Alright, the next part, we're going to treat it again just like the envelope. Open it back up. Yeah? And we're going to make our mitering cuts. So, here at the entrance of the pocket, we're going to cut a caret here at the fold like we would with an envelope, yeah? And then another mitering at the opening of the pocket, yeah? And it's the same thing on the other side. And bang. Okay. Now, here comes the fiddly part. So I'm going to do something else before we get to that part. I'm going to go ahead and round my corners because I want rounded corners, just like these, yeah? So I'm going to go ahead and do that before I do anything else. And I'm using the 7mm setting on my corner rounder. Alright, so they use the same measurement. They should all match up, make it perfectly round. I'm going to do the bottom as well. I just forgot. This might be a little bit difficult because it is getting thick. So you may have to push your paper in there to get it to go in there. There we go. Just push this down a little bit more. Make it a little easier. Get in there. Come on. Are you in there? I think so. Okay. There we go. Good deal. Alright. Now, next step. We have to actually cut out the window, right? You can do this one of two ways. You can use a die cut machine, like I'm going to. Or you can just take your ruler and your pencil and draw a square and then cut it out with your craft knife. Okay? Either or. Alright? We are going to use a die cut machine, so I'm going to go cut out my square and I'll be right back. Okay? Hold on. Okay, guys, and we're back. So, I changed my mind about the square. It just didn't look right, so I went with the rectangle instead. Again, but that's up to you. Okay, so we have this piece left over. Now, in one of my examples, I actually glued the cutout to the back. I kind of like that look. Kind of gives it a little bit of a dimension there. Or you cannot. With this one, I didn't. Right? I wanted the craft paper to show through in the back. Right? So again, up to you. For me, I think I am going to put this back here. Should I or shouldn't I? I didn't know. Well, the problem is that because I did the rectangle so wide, now you can see the gussets. So that's a problem I didn't think about till just now. So, what do? I'm going to have to cut that. I'm going to have to make the gussets narrower. Okay. See, if I was smart, I would have done this. I could have done that. Well, okay, so to fix that, we're going to make these gussets smaller, right? So I'm just grab my small trimmer here, and we're going to cut off, just a sliver, maybe like 1/8 of an inch, yeah? So let's cut off about that much. And that should hide the flaps from the window. I hope. It should. He thinks. He hopes. Let's see here. Right there. Let's see if that worked. And looks like we need to cut off a little bit more on this side. No problemo. Just cut off a sliver more. Just a smidge. That ought to do it. Let me see here. That did it. Okay, now we're good. So, what do we want to do next? Like I said, I think I'm going to put that square behind on the back part of the slide. So let's ink that for sure. For sure. And then we'll ink all around the slide as well. Okay, so let's go around the edges, and actually, we gotta make some cuts first. Let's do that first. Okay, so in a normal slide, you have these little divots here, yeah? Up here on the top. Now, I've seen them on the top and on the bottom. I've seen them just on the top. Again, up to you, how you want to do that, okay? We're going to do them at the top and bottom. I am fortunate enough that I have found this punch here. And this looks like me show you what it looks like if you actually use it the full way. That, right? You see that? So what we're gonna do is use half of that to make my punches. Now, if you don't have this punch, all you have to do is take your craft knife and your ruler, make some lines here, make a little, you know, a thin rectangle, something that looks like this, right? You should use your ruler to make a straight line. And then just cut that piece out. Just cut that out. That's all you have to do. Okay? Simple. Alright. What I have to do is a little bit fiddly, because once I put it up here, since I can't move the little guide any further up, I have to kind of guess where I want to do the half, where the halfway point is. So I know I have to go all the way in and up just a hair. And that ought to do it. That's not enough. See, that's the thing about using this thing. That's better. Okay. It's off a little bit, but that's okay. We'll live. So we're going to go here and up just a smidge. And punch it. There. That's what I wanted. Yeah? Okay, just going to go to the other side, do the same thing. Over here. Try to line it up with the other side. Best we can. Right? So all the way in and up just a bit. There we go. All the way in and then up just a bit. There we go. Alright, so now I've got my little 4 little divots here. Yes? Right there and there. Now, I'm also going to, I did it in this one, I'm also going to put a notch in the back just so it's easier to get things in and out. Since the front's going to be so straight, right? So I use my 2-inch punch, and I'm just going to punch a shallow one right there in the back, just to make things a little easier. Okay. Now the next part is we're going to glue this piece to the back, and that's just, you know, a little glue and just a little positioning before the glue dries. Right? That's a trick. Right? Always before the glue dries. Probably should have used Fabri-Tac to make sure that I had some gimme room here. But it is what it is now. Alright. Come on, get in there. Alright, let's try to make sure we've got this kind of in the right direction. And I'm just going to fold this down and try my best to line up the lines, yeah? So this is way too far down. And I think that is going to be it. Right there. Yeah? I think so. Let's see. I think so. So let's go a little bit on the side. There we go. That's it. Alright, so we're going to push that down. We don't want anything catching on it as she slides things in and out of that, right? And then there you go. You got a little bit of dimension to your slide now. I think that looks kind of cool. And now we can go ahead and ink the rest of it. Yeah? We made all our cuts that we're going to make. And before we actually seal this thing down and before we put the acetate in the window. If you don't have acetate, just use plain plastic packaging from anything will work. I used to use the packaging from the Tim Holtz backdrops before I found this acetate in the thrift store. Okay. Now, let's do the inside of the window here. Try to get them corners. Then we will put the acetate window in, yeah? Alright, how we do here? Almost. Let's get that window a little bit better. How's that? It's not too light for my taste. I want it dirtier. Dirty, 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 dirty. That's just me. You do what you want to do. You don't even have to ink if you don't want to. Okay. Here we go. Now, let's grab some acetate here. Find some. Look at that. Found some right there. And we're going to cut it to fit, yeah? So I do that, just lay it on top of the place that I'm going to cut it for. And then I cut within that border, you know? As best I can. Anyway. Come on. Come on. Here we go. Cooperate, please. It's not cooperating. It's not listening to me. Alright, let's do this. Make sure we got enough there. And there we go. I think that's enough, but that might be too much. I think we're alright. Alrighty. Now we're just going to glue the inside of this. I'm just going to give this a little wipe down with my t-shirt. Get the fingerprints off of it. Yep. And we are going to use art glitter glue for this. Let's put this in here, make sure it fits. Alright. Which direction I want to put it in. Like that. Okay. So, I'm going to take my art glitter glue and go around the window. Not too close to the window because you don't want the glue to splooge out, because it is a pain to get off the acetate once it's on there. Okay? And a little bit extra because I know it's a little bit wider, yeah? Alright. And just take your acetate and place it on there. Be careful where you put it, because once you put it down, you don't really want to move it. Yeah? Okay. And then I press away from the window on the glue so it doesn't come out in front of the window. Is the idea. Well, we hope, anyway. That's how we do. I think we did pretty good. Alright, I think we're good. We got a little bit something on there from the mat, but that's okay. Get that off here. What is that? Did I get glue on it? No, I didn't. Thank you. Whew, that's close. Okay, so, anywho, here we go. Our acetate is in, and now all we have to do is glue it shut, right? No, not right. Now, we've got to choose between brads and eyelets. I am going to use eyelets on this one, I think. Same process, but just different hardware, right? So I'm going to punch a hole in just the front part, but not the back. Just the front part, because I don't want it to go all the way through both pieces. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick my spot, and hopefully I get it even all the way around. Yeah, right there. Try to make sure it's even with the other side, and just commit to it, right? Do it. Close enough. That's pretty close. And again, here at the bottoms. Right here, is that gonna be it? I think so. Commit to it. Yep, I got it. And one more right here. Yeah. Okay, then we're going to put the eyelets in. Real quick like, if I could do this real quick like. Oop. Just throw those anywhere, Tiana. So how's everybody's day? I just finished, well, the first part of my day. It's after 5, or it's after 6 now, but I am going to go back to work and work some more. Try to catch up on stuff. But overall, pretty productive day, I think. Meetings went well, which is good. Okay, so now we have our basic look here, right? All we have to do now is glue this down, which is what we're going to do. And I'm going to use art glitter glue for this, because we're going paper on paper. And I don't think there's any reason to use Fabri-Tac here. But use what you want to use. I wouldn't recommend a glue stick on this. Just because you want to make sure that your pockets hold, right? Or your slide holds together. And glue stick, probably not a good idea. Alright, just fold it over. Like so. Press that down. Okay. Right. Alright, and then we'll go on the other side here and double check here. Make sure we're getting the glue down around the eyelets there, so we don't have anything poking out. And then, for all intents and purposes, let's do a little bit of inking back here. All intents and purposes, we're done. And you have yourself a little slide pocket, right? Now, all you have to do now is put your flap on. I'm going to take my little bone folder here and rub on this just a little bit. Yep, that's better. That's better. And make sure that catches really good, yeah? That's better. Okay. The flap. Remember that little scrap piece of paper that we had? Just measure it to size. Where you think it should be. It's right back here. Okay. And then just fold it in half. Easy peasy. Now I would put washi tape on this, by the way. So just fold it in half, get it a nice crease. Grab some washi tape to reinforce both sides. I'm going to grab some Tim Holtz, so it's right here. And go to town, yeah? And you can use whatever size you like. I'm using one of the thinner ones. Not the thinnest, but since I am going to sew, I want to have some room, yeah? Okay, so that's one side. Then just flip it over. Bring it around, line it up with the other side, and you're done there. If you're not like me and didn't get it on there straight. Come on, Tiana. What's going on? Get it together, chica. Here we go. If I can get this down. Right there. Okay. There we go. And then you just cut that piece off. Like so. And there we go. Alright, I'm going to go sew this real quick. And I will be back. Yeah? Okay. Hold on. Talk some about yourselves. Alright, everybody. And I'm back. I just did a little stitching. A little straight stitch here. And going to get this a nice little creasing again. Make sure that's nice and crisp, right? And I did cut out the strings on this one. I just didn't want them getting in the way. Alright, so depending on which way you want it to open, right? Put it on that side, right? I'm going to give this a little inking as well, because you will be able to see the edges. And there we go. I did miter the ends as well. You know, no reason to have extra bulk if we don't need it. And I'm going to use Fabri-Tac because art glitter on washi tape doesn't do so great, especially when there's thread involved, like with the stitching, right? So let's use some Fabri-Tac on this one this time. And again, I wouldn't recommend glue stick here. Okay. Now we're going to put this up on the edge, all the way to the edge. You can even go a little bit further if you want your pocket to lay flat when it opens. Up to you. I do, so I go a little bit, just a smidge beyond the edge. Okay, I'm going to hold that there for just a sec. Or two. The cons of Fabri-Tac. I love it, but I hate it sometimes. Now, if you can see, I'm just barely going past the edge there. Can you guys see that? This is a little smidge. That'll keep the edge from hitting the flat surface when you open it and catching, and it'll allow you to go open it flat if you want. Now, if you don't want, just put it right to the edge and you're fine. Okay, I'm going to open this real quick and run my bone folder along here just to make sure that lays down. Let's get rid of that little piece of glue there. Alright. Hopefully that'll stay now. Is the hope. Okay, I'm actually going to do that up here too. Okay. We should be good. I'm still going to let that sit for a sec while it decides to set, right? Okay. Anywho, that's it. Yeah? There's your flap. You're good to go. Easy peasy lemon squeezies. Alrighty. So, we did this piece, and now we're going to install the ones that I want to use. And then we'll check time on this. Alrighty, here's the back piece here. I'm gonna move my dauber out of the way so it doesn't get ink on the back of here. You too, all you guys, get out of the way. Alright. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to use these two guys right here. And I may end up even putting pockets on the back of these as well. Most likely I will. Most likely, most definitely. And then we're going to decide what to put on this piece here. I still haven't decided what I want to put there. So, anywho, I'm just going to put glue on the front and the back of this flap. Yeah? Actually, what am I doing? I'm going to glue half of this down first. Should I or shouldn't I? Yeah, I should. I should. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's use... Thinking about it now, because I want to use double-sided tape to put this down. And now I kind of want to keep... I think I'm going to glue them on top of the page versus underneath. I am. Okay. Double-sided tape, where'd you go? Where did you go? Where is it? Lord of mercy. Okay. Of course. It's somewhere else. And let me go grab it. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. And we're back again. I found my score tape. Yay. Alright. Now you can just use regular glue. You don't have to use double-sided tape. I use double-sided tape in conjunction with Fabri-Tac, actually. So, let me cut off these strings here. Because we don't need them and they get in the way of the tape. Okay, right there. And carrot. Like I was saying, I use double-sided tape with glue for a couple of reasons. First reason is this double-sided tape, once it sticks down, you don't get to move it without damaging the paper underneath. So I'll put Fabri-Tac, a very thin bead, over the top of the double-sided tape, and that gives me a little wiggle room before it catches and sets, right? And then it's just a backup, just in case, for me. Because I'm overly cautious when it comes to this stuff. Yeah? Alright. Remember to give your tape a smush down, or it won't stick. Okay. Alright. I can grab my little handy dandy tool. Pull it up. My stomach is upset all of a sudden. Like, I think I need to eat. Did I eat today? I don't think I did. As a matter of fact, I did not eat today. I think I had a couple of chips a few minutes ago. But I need to eat something. Good thing dinner's soon. Making leftover spaghetti. Alright, now let's grab our Fabri-Tac or whatever glue you're going to use if you want to do it this way. And I'm putting a thin bead on the tape itself all the way around. And that just allows it to give me a little bit of wiggle room to position things if I need to. And then, you know, on the main body of the piece, too. Not too concerned about it. Just put a little on there. Okay. Move that, close that. Make sure I got this right side up. And I don't, it's upside down. Is it? Nope, that is. Now we're right. Okay. So, the trick is, you put it down, edges up, right? I got my hair stuck in there. Edges up, like a little bent, so you can push this in, and then give it a little movement until you're happy with your positioning, right? So, I'm holding the edges up. I'm not committing to push down yet on it until I'm sure it's where I want it. I think I want it to be up a little bit more, and then a little to the left here. You guys get out of the way. Is it even? I think it is. Take a peek here. Here, stick with it just a little bit. Alright, I'm going to commit to... I'm going to check the folding. We're good. Yeah, we're good. Alright. We're committing to this. So now I'm going to press down the edges. Yeah? And that tape will now adhere. There is no moving this now. So, always be sure your paper is the right side up, and that you are sure that you are satisfied with the positioning before you do what I'm doing right now. Because there is no moving this now. Alright, I'm going to take my bone folder and go around the edges just to make sure we get good adhesion. Everything sticks down, making sure I pay special attention to the corners. But those are usually the first place it'll come up is on the corner. Yeah. Okay. Go. And make sure the corner's down. Alrighty then. I think we're good. Alright. Got a little bit of seepage, but that's no big deal. We clean that up later. Okay. What's next? So let's go ahead and put our slides on. Okay. So I'm going to put this one here, I think. We don't want to do them like one way and one the other way. That book is going to be in the way, so I probably don't want... I mean, I could, you know, be like that. Not going to be that big of a deal. But actually, I can't do that because it'd be upside down because of where the opening is. So they're both going to go that way. So I don't have the option to go opposite direction since the pocket's this way. On the top here. If I did it over here, it'd be upside down, and we don't want that. Alright, so we're going to glue this one here. Yeah. And this one here. Yeah. Okay, let's get to the gluing. I'm going to use Fab-Protect here. And I'm going to give this one more little creasing here just to quiet my mind about it. Yeah. Okay. And I'm probably going to put I might put a magnet on these just to make sure they stay down. Maybe. We'll have to see how I feel about it when it's laying flat. If it lays flat. Stringy. Okay. Right here, I'm going to try to stay right within the space here. Alright. Let's push that down and give it a minute. I think that's a perfect spot, actually. Alright, let's not mess with it. I'm gonna... Stop it! Stop moving! Knock it off. Alright. Okay, we're gonna push it down a little bit more in a second. The same thing with this one. Now, if you're wondering why I didn't put washi tape on this, it's because this craft paper is so thick that I don't really think it needs it. Okay? It's so thick that I don't think it needs it. I really don't. So I don't put it on there when I'm using the craft paper. But then again, personal choice. Alright, you just popped up, didn't you? Stay back down there. Alright, what can I put there to get it to stay down? You. Mod Podge. Do something. Contribute, please. Alright, let's put this one down here. Just trying to make sure that these guys are even. Even Stevens, yeah? Try anyway. Alright. I think that's about even Stevens. Okay. Let's push this down a little bit. And hopefully it will lay flat. I might actually leave it open. Leave it open? Maybe it'll help stick better. No, I don't want to leave it sitting up like this on something. Maybe that will help. Okay. Now let's see how this one's doing over here. Are you doing better? Are you cooperating? Or are you being annoying? Let's see if these are even. I'm gonna push them down, and they are not. You are crooked as a crooked man with a crooked stick. Alright, excuse me a second. I gotta look at the book to see if it's even and level. Okay, excuse me. Cooperate, please. Thank you. Alright, I think that is good. Alright. We're going to let that set before we play with it anymore. I'm going to push this down some more. I'm going to make sure that that catches. Because if it doesn't, that's a problem. Alright. Got a little bit of seepage right there. It's okay. We'll get the glue off later. I'm just really concerned about it staying down right now. Yeah? Okay, let's take our bone folder. I'm just going to push down on it some more. Okay. I think that is good now. Yeah? Huh. Let's see here. Alrighty then. Okay, we're good. Okay, we're good. And alrighty, let's go ahead and why do I feel like I'm missing something? Or I did something wrong. Did I? No, everything is right. Everything seems right to me. Yeah? I don't know, I feel like I did something, like I'm missing something. I don't know what it is, but something's bugging me. I don't know what it is. Y'all. You hate that? You feel like you're missing something, you forgot something, and you cannot figure out what it is? And that is what's going on with me right now. I don't know what it is, but something's bugging me, and I can't figure it out. You know what? Oh, I know what it is. Okay, I know what it is. So when I went and stitched the example window, right, and I stitched down the washi tape, I did not stitch this one down. So I did glue it, so that should be okay. Do I want to take this off and redo it? I don't. No, I don't. This tape seems to be doing really good. I did sand it down, the edges, so it shouldn't catch on anything, so we should be okay. It'll be alright. Yeah, it's not pulling away at all. Look at that. That's good. We're good. We're okay. So like I said, the sewing that I do is just a precaution. It's not required. I don't think anybody else does it but me. Honestly, I've never seen anybody else do it. It's just a precaution for me. Not a requirement. It's just something that I recommend. You know? Anywho, okay, we're good. Now, moving on. Let's see, I think I am going to put some sort of closure in here, but I'm going to wait until we put what I'm going to put underneath here, which is going to be some sort of pockets, I believe. I'm thinking about these. These are 3 flat file folders. If you see, I've actually got the little score marks on them as well. Alright, these are just miniature versions of those. I'm thinking about putting those in here, like this. However, see how it's bulking up right there? It may not be the best idea. So, what other options do we have? I have these guys. Now, these are file folder pockets. Yeah? So this is an idea, which helps, which would be fine, I think. I just think this needs to settle. Once it settles, it'll lay flat. So I'm gonna hold off on that for now. I've got these. These work. These pockets. Just cut these down. So these are actually stickers that I got at the at Joann's. I just stamped over them. They look like this originally, yeah. And then I just stamped over it and glued it to some craft paper. And I figured I'd just make some flat pockets out of them. which this may actually work here. What do you guys think? Do I have enough? I should have another one around here somewhere. Because this could work. Or, there's another one. There we go. You could do like this and have 2 pockets here. Just cut it down a little bit on each side. And then we have 2 pockets right here that do not give us too much bulk. And then we'll put some pockets in the back here as well. I think we'll do that. I like this. Alright, we're doing it. Totally doing it. Let's do some notches here. And I'm going to cut it down to smidge as well. So I'm going to cut off the black border on both sides. And that should straighten it out. Or be narrow enough to fit on the page now. I think. And you can just do the same idea with some craft paper and some black cardstock. Same exact thing as some stamping. Yeah? Alright, we need to cut off some more. Still too wide. Still a little too wide. So I'm going to go to this next line here. And do the same thing down here. To keep them even, yeah? Let's see if this fits in. And it does. I think we're good there. Alright, let's give it a notch. Here, do I want to sew it? I think I might. Do I want to do some stitching on it? I do want to do some stitching on it. So let's cut this one now. The same way we did the other one. Right there. And that should be enough to make it fit. Do you fit now? You do fit now. Make sure this one fits as well. Okay, we're both good now. Alright, so let's go do a little stitching. And then we'll install these. I want to put... I kind of want to have 3 here, though, you know what I mean? One there, one there, one there. I think I do. So we're going to hold off on this for now, because I'm going to make another one of these, and we'll stamp it together. How about that? Okay, so there's that. We're going to let that set. Now, over here, my idea was, I have these, you guys have seen these before. These are these little picture frames. I just cut the backs of them off, stamped them. We stamped these in another episode, because I want to see this pattern behind it. And I've got 3, so I'm going to do this. So I have 3 of these here. Yeah, like that. And there's pockets. If I can find the 3rd one, here it is. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, like so. What do you think? Yeah? I like it. I think it looks perfect like that, actually. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So let's get our glue and bone folder here. Make some really tight creasing here. Here. And we're gonna glue it down. Let's use this is that glossy paper, so I'm gonna use Fabri-Tac again on this. Go. And here we go. Alright. That one will go there, this one will go right here. And we're going to have to hold this down. This is a thick cardstock, it wants to pull up. So we got to hold this down until it catches. Or you can clamp it down with a paper clip, or with a bulldog clip, or whatever. Yeah? Any of that would work. So let's see, why don't we do that so I can apply the other ones, yeah? There's 1, and there's 2. Gotta hold that for now. Let's do the others. Let's give these a nice creasing too. While we're doing that, okay. Here we go. Here we go, and there we go. That one will go there, this one will go here. Right about there. It's good, I think. What do you think? I think. Yeah, I think so. Alright, let's just hold this in place for a minute and grab a clip. right here on this side. Straighten that up. I just made that crooked, didn't I? Straighten up, please. Thank you. Make sure that that's even with the other one. I think we are. Okay, let's hold that for just a minute. Make sure that catches. I think we're catching pretty good. Okay. And the last one. This should look really cool, I think. And then I think I'm going to take a dinner break. That's okay with you guys. My stomach is really not happy with me right now for not eating. Yeah, my daughter's going to yell at me too for not eating. But, I forget to eat sometimes. Any of you those with ADHD can relate to that, I think. Alright, let me make sure everybody's even here. Are we even, Steven? Better be. Yep, I think so. I'm going to move this up actually a little bit more to right there. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Now I think we're good. Okay. I'm going to pull this side up some more. Move it that way. There we go. I think that's better. Okay, let's give it a clip. Why not? Why not? Let's give it a clip. I think this is come over some more. Let's see more of that stitching, like the other ones down there. Okay, there we go. All right. Go. Make sure this one's down. Looks like we're gonna have to clean up some glue on the inside there. That's okay. I think this one's good. So later on, I'll just go in there with my residue eraser and get that glue off. No big deal. No big whoop. No big whoop. Now to do this, if you don't have these frames, all you have to do is cut your rectangle, like you would, or cut your pocket, any size of pocket that you wanted, right? And then simply, like you did with the slide, take your ruler and your pencil, trace out a square, and then cut it out. Same exact thing. I got these off Temu, so that's the only reason I'm using them. Okay, let's see. How do we look? Totally cool. I like it. I like it, I like it, I like it. Okay. Next, how are we doing on time? We are coming up on our hour. Okay, so what did we do today? We did jumbo slide pockets. Yeah, without a die, except for the, the window. We did these guys, and we attached the backing here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do this middle section here, and I'm going to use my file folder pockets that I've been making. I'm going to show you how to make these. These are super simple. I'm going to use this one. I think that one. And I got another green one over here. So actually it's going to go here, there, and like that. This is my idea. What do you think? You like it? You like it? You like it? Something like this. And then I'm probably going to put another mini one right here. Yeah, so when this closes, it'll close nice and flat. So I'll show you how to make these in the next episode, okay? We're going to do that, and then we're also going to do, hopefully we'll get to the front part of this panel, and underneath here, we're going to put it underneath here, okay? I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!